Hello folks, and welcome to another episode here at the Walk in the Park podcast. This week we're at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. I'm going to ride a few coasters back here when I'm at home, and let's go for a walk in the park. Now, Great Adventure's been pretty much my home park for years before going to college, but this was my first real summer that I wasn't at home. But I still managed to get to the park. I have to hit the new Toro, which I haven't gotten on yet, but it's coming. It didn't open with the park, and neither did King de Ka. But I got on King de Ka right away. I was on the third tray today. We're going to start out here in the old country. And there's really not much to see in the old country. There's really a dead zone. I'll go you through what used to be here, I guess. In this new smoking area, I believe, used to be the Spin Meister, one of Great Adventure's many lost flats. And that's been a real problem here at this park. Flats have been dying and dying and dying. But the coasters are real good. So you could buy, you can get a caricature, a waffle cone, or a henna tattoo, but you can't get a ride. See, some folks are real happy to be here. Over here on the right, we got the Autobahn bumper cars. Your average bumper cars. Not many. I think there's like 8 in there. To the back, you can still see the, let me get a shot of that. Back there, that red and black tent used to be the line for the pendulum attraction that's no longer here. It's now at Six Flags Great America. Or if you check the podcast, it's not running there either. We have your generic Music Express over here to the left. And then the park gets real dead. Here's the Batman and Robin the Chiller. Good ride, but it's been dead for about a month now, I think, and it doesn't show any signs of life. Actually, you get a shot over here through that, through another food stand, but you can see in the background that those are the trains to Batman right in the dead center of the thing, of this camera, and those don't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. But Chiller's been dead for quite some time. But you know, it never really run that well anyway. I don't think I've been here once since opening year when both sides have ran. Kind of a sad thing, but kind of what you expect here at Six Flags Great Adventure. Over there to the right is just their indoor theater. I haven't seen the show yet, but I don't think I'm going to. It's not that hot where I have to cool off by going to see whatever industrial movement is. And yeah, not to spread rumors or anything, but with Free Fall down, as you can see over here, and slated to be removed from the park, and Chiller not working, you got a whole area out over here that could be an expansion area in the future. Also, this Batman stunt show theater just sits empty over here straight ahead of us. So not to spread rumors, but that's a lot of dead rides in one area. And even one dead shot. Actually, this is ridiculous. Let me get an up close to this. I guess this must be where they sold all their old stuff, because that's a 2005 Six Flags shirt you can buy in here. How many of those do you think they sell? I don't think very many. Shot of the big dead Chiller. And you can buy more snacks over here. Gonna walk over here to get the shot of the free fall sign, and may it rest in peace, I guess. These first generation intimate free fall rides don't appear to be long for this world. They're dropping like flies. kind of a cool sign if they raffle it off at an enthusiast event or something, or sell it for a charity auction. Oh, I bet there's a good collection of GADB fanboys out there that'll pick that one right up. There sits the big dead arena, and this is really a dead corner of the park. Overall, the crowds have really not been that bad today. I think New York really in the area hasn't recovered since last week's giant heat wave. But the weather's not that bad today, and I've been to parks when it's been a lot worse. I don't mind the crowds at all. The only crowded rides we saw were King Ka right at the beginning of the day was packing a big crowd. Batman had a good line, and El Toro had a very long line earlier, but it was only running one train. See, I don't know something about that. New management has to come in and do something about that El Toro. How's that supposed to state for them? Ride comes in and it opens up late in the middle of June, and once it does open, it runs one train half the time. I mean, that's just... And it won't open with the park either. It'll open up later on. There's a Movie Town Water Effect, the old splashdown shoot-to-shoot kind of ride. And yet another Batman the Ride. The second we've seen here at the Walk in the Park podcast. I mean, I've been on a whole lot, but only the second we've seen here on the podcast. I think Batman was only running one train today too. As you can see, the line is pretty good size. It must only be running one train. That's the only way I could explain that much of a line for Batman. I'm going to avoid this crowd here and take a little left. And here you have your studio restrooms right next to your studio arcade. We're going to head over towards the Nitro Entrance area, which is really tucked away in like kind of a corner of the park. So Nitro is one of the headlining attractions, but it being a people eater attraction and its location normally doesn't have very long lines. Also, one great thing about Great Adventure is the wild safari that's included with admission. Yeah, we had a lot of fun in there. We had like 2 or 3 ostriches just attack our car. And you can't have that done very often. Hey guys. That's my little brother and his friend Tim. They're here with me today. They decided they didn't want to be on internet podcast TV. And Looney Tunes Seaport over here to the left is I don't remember what year they added that, but I'm not going to take you guys in there. I'll take you guys into the new, for 2006, Looney Tunes National Park Kids area, but I'm not going to go over there. See the entrance to Nitro over here, and the entrance to Batman the Ride. We got the closed down Riptide attraction that's done for the year according to the sign at the entrance. And that'll pretty much do it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed the walk around Six Flags Great Adventure here with me. And I'll see you next week at the park. Hi folks, and welcome to another edition of the Walk in the Park podcast, episode 2 of probably 3 here at Six Flags Great Adventure. I'm going to take you by we're going to start over here by Skull Mountain and walk all the way across the back half of the park over towards Medusa. Again, I've always liked the entrance and outside to Skull Mountain. Didn't care much for the inside of Skull Mountain, but they did a good job on the outside. On a normal day, I would take the Skyway to the other side of the park, as there are not too many attractions. But not waiting on that one. Here's one of the better restaurants in the park, the Walk and Roll. It's Chinese or Japanese food, something like that. And I mean, like everything here at Six Flags, it's pretty pricey. Here to our right's the, I believe it's the Jolly Roger, one of the few flats that were left for the big 25 rides edition of 1999, the Attack on Lines, I remember them calling it. And it's the only one that's left. As you can see, they replaced Evolution, which is now at Six Flags St. Louis, with, it looks like plants. Remote control boats to my right. And at least it's a nice shady section of the park. The sky's gotten real cloudy here. My dad called me before and he said, watch out, you're supposed to get some thunderstorms, so looks like there's a good chance of them being in the future of the day-to-day. Hopefully not the podcast, because I don't want to get this thing wet. To my left is the, I think it's a Fantasy Fling, but I'm not sure. I'll say it's the Fantasy Fling, but maybe we'll see a sign here. And to my right is the Buccaneer. Buccaneer's been a mainstay at the park. It's been here a long time. Yep, I was right. Fantasy Fling. I remember Fantasy Fling's been at probably 4 or 5 different locations on the park. But it sticks around. Somehow all the cooler flats have come and gone, but Fantasy Fling's still here. And here's, I think, the little Blackbeard's coaster. And I remember back for a while there was no sign around the Blackbeard. I think it's like Blackbeard's Lost Treasure Chain or something they want to call it. For a while there was no name around it except for a presented by AOL plaque, so a lot of the fanboys would just call it AOL the Ride. But now I don't know what year they did this. I think it might have been last year or 2 years ago. They installed this big cool sign. There it is. A little up close shot of that. Quite a line here for the Blackbeard treasure train. I wonder if those 2 guys were going in there. They seem a little big for the treasure train, but maybe they're credit whoring. I don't know. I myself, I've been on it, so I can't go and crack down on them, but it could be what they're doing. Didn't look like it, but here's the Fort Independence, the big arena for the Dolphin Show. Here on the right, we've got the festival stage and the Grand Lake Grandstand. They decided to install the festival stage instead of the inverter. I don't know if it was called, I think it was called Time Warp when it was here. But yep, they got rid of that for a crappy looking show stage. And look at these bleachers. Does that not scream Six Flags or what? It does to me. This is a nice part of the park. It's quiet, not overwhelmed, sweaty people. Oh yeah, it definitely looks like the rain's about to come down. Which means the rides will shut down. It's about 3:20 in the afternoon when I'm filming today, so I don't know if maybe they'll start weeding out some of the crowds. Get my wait for El Toro shorter. Because you know I am not leaving this park without getting on El Toro. Over there you can see the Eugenie's Great Escape House, which is probably Great Adventure's most bizarre flat ride. It's one of the Vekoma spinning houses or crazy houses, I don't know how they name it. This I always consider one of Great Adventure's most vintage areas with the what used to be Dream Street, I want to call it, a long time ago. With the ice cream around the carousel and then the Great Character Cafe over here to my right. one of probably the best themed restaurants for a Six Flags theme park to have. Over there to the left is the entrance to the Boardwalk. I'm not going to take you down there quite yet. I'm going to start the next episode over by the Boardwalk. Here's another ride that doesn't appear to be running today. The teacups. And we're going to cut through the game center because we can't walk through there because of this paintball building. Actually, I got to compliment the game center before. Me and my brother, who was on the last episode for a brief second, went in here. We won probably spent about $3 and we won 3 stuffed animals. We won Death's dog from Family Guy. We won a Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons, and we also won. Oh, we won Santa's Little Helper from The Simpsons. It's a first for the podcast. We've never gone into an arcade before. Oh, Bob the Builder. Yeah, the air conditioning isn't really even good in here. This is doesn't make any sense. It should be nice and icy cold in here. And back out into the heat. Not nearly as hot as a couple episodes back when me and Big Chris were at Paramount's Kings Island. That was one of the hottest days I've ever had at a theme park. The clothing store that sells non-Six Flags merchandise. Nothing says Six Flags like some Corona extra stuff, your Phillips 66 hat, or your Caution It's Shannon's Room sign. And here's the new section for this year's Bug Buddies National Park. I took a walk through here before, but there's really no reason for me to go in here. What language was that? Looks like a Bugs Bunny airplane attraction over here to the left. Here we have, looks like a little Himalaya, like a mini Himalaya probably gonna ride. Well, that's pretty well themed too. Wile E. Coyote's got rockets strapped on the side. What's the name of this thing? We got Porky Pig Camp Wagons, which I guess is a mini Ferris wheel. Looks like sort of like the Animaniacs water tower back from the old TV show. We've got the mini carousel that used to be across the lake over, but that had to be moved for the beautiful looking El Toro, and a hot air balloon ride for the kids. That's it for this new expansion, but it's really been a good year for Great Adventure. They got Tango, the small rocking tug, the Bugs Bunny National Park, and as you can see coming up here right ahead of me, the massive and just a beautiful looking coaster, El Toro. Yeah, that's a great shot. I mean, this is the one you see on the internet about 50 times. If you search for El Toro, you'll probably find this picture. You get a little hint of Rolling Thunder in there. You get the runaway mine train going through, King Dakar. You get the sky cabins. I don't see it running, but maybe they're only still doing one train up. Alright folks, I'm probably not going to take you down to that corner of the park, but you can Sawmill Log Flume, and way in the back there is Medusa. And we will see you next week at the park. As always, with any questions, please email me at patman007@aol.com or shoot me an IM at patman007. Alright, we'll see you next week at the park. Episode here at the Walk in the Park podcast. Let's go for a walk in the park. Part 3 from Great Adventure here. As you can see, the El Toro queue is just spilling out on the midway. Everyone's excited to ride the new big wooden attraction. I don't know if they're running one train or two today. Let me go see if I can get a look at that. I have no idea. I can't see behind the bowl. But it's really packing them in here. And that's next on my agenda. Maybe not with this line, but I want to get there. That's why I came to the park today. And of course, everyone's excited to ride the new Winter roller coaster, and no one's excited to ride the old Winter roller coaster because it is closed.
You gotta wait in line.
New sign and all. Rolling Thunder got the closed door today, as did many rides in the park, which isn't to be suspected. Also, I didn't take a walk over there with you guys, but the runaway train was also closed. So that's 3 major roller coasters closed. Rolling Thunder, Runaway Train, and Batman and Robin the Chiller. Here's where you buy all your El Toro merchandise. And look at the mob scene coming here. Wow. So I better pick up a souvenir soda, refill that souvenir soda mug before I hop online for that thing, because that does not look like a fun wait. Here's the other new family attraction for this year, which is not running like half the rides of this park, but Tango, just your rock and tug with different theming. This is, of course, in the new Plaza del Carnaval section of the amusement park. It's kind of a old Spanish kind of theme. Trapped in a traffic jam here. And there's Plaza del Carnaval, King in the background, and El Toro that runs about once every 5 minutes or so. I'm going to take you down into the Golden Kingdom, where of course lurks King Dakar, the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster. And trust me folks, it gives one hell of a ride. Over here on the left, they have tigers.
Siberian or albino. They're white Bengal tigers. They carry a double.
There's one way in the back.
Kids in that by their coloration. It's very similar.
And there's a guy talking about him.
Child and a blonde-haired child born in the same litter. They were actually born to 2 orange parents.
Food stand.
Ours are smallest adult female, weighing about 130.
And theming. Yes, folks, that was actual theming at a Six Flags park, and so is this. I know, if you're still with me in Fate or anything, we're going to take a walk through Fallen's Jungle Land, the kiddie area that replaced whatever, like replaced Bugs Bunny Land with the giant tree. Up there's El Toro again. Just taking a walk. Love that slide. That is a cool slide. They really did a great job on the Golden Kingdom of the park. Big treehouse, fun house for the kids. Cool elephant statue, I guess. And the Royal Elephant's flat spinning ride. Yeah. And a little kiddie splash area. You need to bathe your children while here at Six Flags Great Adventure. A lot of people on the Midway today. And of course, down that path leads to the big man, King Dakar, the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster. But if you're listening to this podcast, you probably know plenty about King Dakar. Actually, you're watching, you can't really listen to this, it won't make any sense. Whoop. There's, of course, Great American Scream Scene. I think somebody just noticed my shirt.
What's King Dakar?
Scream Machine must have got them repainted or something because it looks pretty good. Don't know how it runs, but it looks pretty good. There's the big turtles out in the back. I don't think they wanted to be on camera. There's more of the Scream Machine. Now we're going to exit the Golden Kingdom and enter the Boardwalk. Always loads of people on the Boardwalk playing some $3 games and probably not winning a prize. Here's the eruption, the upcharge. Not going right now, but nobody really wants to pay for it. And SpongeBob SquarePants, the ride in 3D, themed towards a military Air Force hangar. The Twister, your General Huss top spin. And one of my favorite observation rides over here is the parachute drop. And more of the Scream Machine. The Scream Machine really sticks out. You can see Scream Machines from just about all parts of the park. Of course, the famous Mr. $6. I don't know if it's parked here for, well, actually it shouldn't be parked here anymore. I guess that marketing campaign's kind of dead. But it's here. And now we got to the big thrill section of the Boardwalk, where you can enter straight ahead and go to the Superman Ultimate Flight Flying Coaster. You could go to Space Shuttle Flight Testing, or the very loud Great American Scream Machine. That'll do it for our adventures here at Six Flags Great Adventure. If you have any questions or comments, please shoot me an email at patman007@aol.com. We'll see you next week at the park.